Here you are, the man, the legend. Okay, let me turn some audio down here. Okay. All
Yes,
right, great.
sir.
Your phone.
Okay.
What did you do, Mr. Williams? You were a miracle worker. I hear that about you. Can you hear us?
Hello.
Great.
Alrighty. Okay.
All righty.
You're looking like a young man. You look like you ready to step back into the assembly. Yes, sir.
All right. Okay.
I need to come up here.
Mr. Williams, we have in the house Mr. James Allen Jr., aka the man, the legend. And would actually be you, Mr. Williams? I hear you're the legend, the man, the legend. I'm going to be basically working tech here behind the scenes, and it's going to be basically James's show. So what we'll do now, I have this streaming right now to a place called Twitch, where all the cool rock and roll gamer kids go, and I'm also recording it for posterity. Are you okay with recording your information and being released onto the internets? All right, great. Then that's where we're at. Okay. Okay, James, it's your show, buddy.
Yes, sir. Man, we're here with the legend, like you said, Chris. I mean, a lot of OGs have gone and passed, but man, we're looking at one today. We got one here on Zoom, and we're here talking with the former Assemblyman, Wendell P. Williams, Mr. Wendell P. Williams. Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us. All right. Chris, can we turn him up? I got it.
I will do what I can to do that.
1 second. We got to.
That's the wrong thing here. We're going to go a little bit of a delay, technical speaking here, just for a moment,
Okay.
while the guy who does not know what he's doing. All right, there we go.
Okay. Can you?
Okay, good. Can we get a test again, Mr. Williams, on your audio?
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4,
And I don't
5,
see him.
6,
Okay.
7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
A little better.
Okay, take that off. Okay. All right, then that is what we're going with, and appreciate your patience with that, Mr. Williams. We're going back to our full screen, and that should be it. Speaker.
You ready?
Yeah, go for it. But you're
Okay.
in business.
So, you don't mind if I call you Mr. P?
No.
Okay.
What you want?
Yeah, we're like, I feel we're like family, man, because, my mom and you worked side by side with her, and I'm so glad that she was honored and she was given a proclamation by the county, and you guys was there for different programs and events that she put on through the community back in the day, and we really appreciate that. I myself,
Eliza Rome was like my mother.
yes,
And we're coming up on the King Parade, and she was the Grand Marshal. I was so glad to be there and experience that because she was a relentless woman.
yes,
She never gave up on anything. And her first thought every day was helping people. And I
yes,
just love that.
yes. Well, I know it brought a smile on my face, just a little brief passage of, when my mom first got involved, she always had a heart for giving back to the community. And she always had a place to where not only the officials or the elected officials would come and just say hello to her, but she always had a place where if she was out in the public, she was being recognized, and I just love that. And my mom today is in dementia, but she's being well taken care of, and we love that, just her presence around us in the family. I would implore, if you ever get any time, I would love to have you over and see mom and probably get a picture of you guys because, like I said, we don't have too many trailblazers left. And this is the OG. I'm really really excited to have you here today. Can you just give us a little bit, Mr. P, on your background and being in Nevada, coming up here?
Absolutely. Uh, I was born and raised in Louisiana. I was born in St. Joseph, Louisiana, which is Louisiana have parishes opposed to counties.
Yes.
So it's the poorest parish in the United States, and it had the most declining population. So there were three towns in this parish, and there was probably about 2,000 people in the whole parish. So every kid went to one school, and it was like it was segregated schools, and I grew up in that situation. It's like, ooh, let me tell you about this so you can get an idea. It was teachers teachers who came to teach in that town, in those towns. There was no housing for them, so they had to rent rooms from people like us. We had a room in the back of our house, and we rented rooms. That was sort of like, it was a setback for them, but it was a blessing for us because I had help with homework at night, and I had people who would watch me at school and make sure we did the right thing.
Hmm.
So my Sunday school teacher was my principal and my little league coach. So it was sort of a village, even though it had the downs, it also had the ups. So anyway, I'll speed up a little bit here. So when I turned 15, we moved to New Orleans, Louisiana.
Hmm.
So I went to 11th and 12th grade there. From there, I went to Southern University of Baton Rouge, HBCU. Got my bachelor's and master's at Southern.
Yes.
So I was like, when I came to Vegas, I was about 27 years old. Had never flown on a plane, really hadn't been close to one. So uh, came to Vegas and kind of like passing through. I was driving to LA. I bought a Volkswagen van the day I left. Didn't know anything about it, so I drove 50 miles an hour across country.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm driving to LA, and I looked at the map. Oh, Vegas is pretty close. So I think I'll turn into Vegas. I had never left Louisiana. 27 years old. So I come into Vegas in the middle of the night, and the strip was dark, completely dark. So I went into this club. There used to be a club called the Fox Trap on the strip. Went into this club,
Foxtrot. Yeah.
and this girl gave me a line. I knew it was a line, but I went for it. So I'm like, I thought Vegas was glamour and glitz and bright lights. She said Elvis died today. You're the new king in town. He had to go. I fell for that line, so I never left.
Yeah.
Never
Okay.
left. And Vegas. It was okay. It was kind of like a little bit like the South because the first migration of African Americans to Las Vegas came from the Delta in Louisiana.
Hmm.
First African Americans.
I remember my
So
mom talking about that. Yes.
right. So look, it was the thing about it. People were making $2, $3 a day, in the fields and things. And when they got ready to build the dam, they got the lumber from Tallulah, Louisiana. That's why you hear about so many people from Tallulah. So people are like, why is all this lumber going to Las Vegas? Long story short, they're
Yes.
building a dam.
Hmm.
So you would ask the question, why would you get lumber? Why would you go all the way to Tallulah,
To the
Louisiana
south.
to get lumber? Well, the owners of the San Francisco 49ers own that lumber mill in Tallulah. So they had a hookup.
Okay.
So well, black people came to Vegas, you could make $20, $25 a shift, working in the hotels compared to $3 a day. So that was this mass uh,
Migration.
migration to Las Vegas.
Uh-huh.
So when I got here, there was a lot of people from Louisiana. As a matter of fact, uh, Joe Neal, who's from Mounds, Louisiana, state senator, longest serving state senator.
Yes.
Lonnie, who's passed away, he's from Tallulah.
Hmm.
So people said to me, if you're going to run for office, just put Louisiana on your stuff and, they'll know. But came to Vegas, and less than probably about 2 or 3 years, I went up to KCEP Radio, uh, the African American radio station here, and said, "I'd like to do a talk show. You don't have any community affairs talk shows on your radio." So I did the first talk show on 88, first one. And one thing I like about that station is a community station. They didn't ask me, had I ever done a talk show? Do I have experience? Which I didn't. And they said, "Hey, when you want to do it?" So I started doing it on Thursday night. I went up against the Cosby TV show at 8 o'clock on Thursday night. It
Yeah.
is the first talk show 88. That's the only show on KCP FM 88 in Las Vegas that hasn't changed the name. Former Commissioner Weekly does the show now.
Yes.
So in less than, I love serving in the community. I was in politics 20 years in office, but community work, is really my passion. Helping other people. That's
Yes.
why I got along with so well with Ms. Rome, because I was on the same sphere with her. We were the same deal. So I like that in her, and I like people that do that. So we got along really well. So I
Yes.
started doing community work about. I was here about 8 years. They got elected to the legislature. The first teacher ever elected to the Nevada State Legislature. So served in the legislature 20 years. I was the first African American to serve as Speaker
Mm.
of the House, and chaired the Education Committee probably for about 15 or 16 years. My first session in the legislature, I passed the Martin Luther King holiday bill to make Martin Luther King a state holiday.
Yes.
My colleagues who came before me, they attempted to do it, and they took the position talking about how great King was. Graduated high school at 15, youngest man to receive a Nobel Peace Prize. All the things about King, but that fell on James. That fell on deaf ears.
Yes.
It fell on deaf ears. But when
Mm-hmm.
I got there, I took a different point of view. So I calculated how many rooms were in Las Vegas, how many hotel rooms, and California had the holiday, so people were coming to Vegas. Vegas was raising their rates on the 3-day weekend of Martin Luther King, making money off a holiday that we didn't have. They were raising the
Wow.
holiday rates.
Mm.
People were driving cabs and going to shows. They're making money. So I calculated how much money was going into the state general fund and into the convention authority. Found out we were making a ton of money. Didn't even have a holiday.
Wasn't even a holiday.
And the other approach,
Yeah.
the other approach I took, do we really, really want to be like Arizona at the time?
Mm.
Arizona, in Arizona, the Beatles canceled their tour.
Mm.
The Super Bowl canceled on them because they didn't have a holiday, and Luther Vandross was doing a thing there. They canceled.
Wow.
So
All iconic.
people in the legislature understood the dollar. They understood the impact of the dollar. So when I got enough votes to pass it, the governor had two discretionary days he could make it a holiday. Governor Richard Bryan,
Richard Bryan.
he would make it a paid holiday, even though it was just temporary.
Mm-hmm.
So the governor had 2 days to do that. So once they saw I had the votes, people start saying, "What's next? Civil Rights Day, blah blah blah." So I said, "Look, the governor has 2 days. We'll take those 2 days from him. We'll make the Martin Luther King holiday a state holiday, and then we'll make the day after Thanksgiving a family day." That's why people are off on that Friday after Thanksgiving. You know, like I got them 2 paid holidays. If
Right.
everybody would just send me a quarter on them holidays, I'd be happy.
Okay. Just a
Hey,
card, huh? Thank you.
yeah, just throw something at me. Throw something at me. But it's. I was a teacher in the Clark County School District probably about 16 years. Worked as a community resource person in the school district. A lot of families didn't have the proper meals, didn't have the proper food. How can you go to school and learn when you don't eat? You don't have anything to eat before you go to bed, and then you don't have anything to eat when you get up. So sometimes kids stay home because their clothes are not clean. So we had washers and dryers, food. We did everything for them to increase
Hmm.
the population. So Jay, you can cut in because I used to be in politics. I'll just go on and on.
I know.
So
Mr. P, you can talk, man, because it's like, when I used to hear my mom talk, I just sit there humbly and just take it all in, man, because it's such a part of Nevada's history, and a lot of these
yeah,
kids today, and I mean, people my age, they just don't know. You can walk around and they wouldn't know you, and that's sad because you've done so much, and you mentioning other names that I know well, and I've been trying to get them in to do something with me, but I'm so thankful that you agreed to do this interview because, like I said, you are one of the trailblazers that your name is going to live forever, man. And I don't think it's just here in Nevada and in the Las Vegas area. I think California, Arizona, I think they know of Wendell P. Williams. Speaking on the
let,
parade,
let me tell you
so
this little story.
sure.
Let me tell you this story. My mother was a teacher, and she made $27 a month in Louisiana.
Mm.
She saved the money, and she heard about a school in Chicago. She saved the money, caught the bus, went to Chicago to visit the school. She was pregnant with me at the time. And the school is Wendell Phillips High School in Chicago. Now, Wendell Phillips had kids at their school. I tell you, some of the alumni: Nat King Cole, Sarah Vaughn,
Wow.
Johnson family who did the hair products, the Johnson family who did Ebony magazine. It's a famous
Billionaires.
African American school in St.
Hmm.
I mean, in Chicago. The high school basketball team that year won the state championship. A guy comes from New York. He takes those kids who won the championship to New York. They became the Harlem Globetrotters. So I knew that
Wow.
I knew some of that story my mom had told me, but I didn't know everything.
Yes.
So Wendell Phillips was a slave abolitionist in the 1800s. He fought against slavery. So that's who my mother ended up naming me after, Wendell Phillips Williams. The P is for Phillips.
That P is
So I
for
was
Philip.
named
Okay.
after slave abolition.
Yeah.
Wendell Phillips was a good friend of Frederick Douglass. If you look at Frederick Douglass, most of his books, Wendell Phillips writes the introduction in his books.
Hmm.
So I mean, to be named after slave abolition, I got to keep going.
You got to keep
So,
pushing.
but I went to my daughter for a Christmas present. Took me to the school a couple of years ago. So I went to the school. I told them the story. They're like, "Wow, our kids need to know that." So I said to them, "There's a Wendell Phillips Williams School in Las Vegas." The principal brought those kids here from Chicago to Vegas, and we took some of our kids to Chicago. But that story is, that high school. If you get a chance to Google Wendell Phillips High School in Chicago, check it out. Some famous people went there.
Is
And that
that
was,
Cook?
my mother had. Go ahead.
Yeah. Is that Cook County? That the school is
Yes.
okay. Cook. Okay. I will.
Yeah. And it still exists today. They did a lot of movies in that school, and it's a phenomenal school. And I'm just people say, well, I don't want that government name, and I
Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah.
But I had a chance that my mama had the insight back in the 50s
Wow.
to name me after someone that was progressive. And I love her for that.
Yes. You know. We hail from Tallulah ourselves. My mom's from Tallulah, and
I didn't know that. My
yes,
mother was born.
yes, my
No
dad.
wonder we.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just so amazing that the people came from the South that helped to
Yeah.
shape this whole state. Because people don't know about the people up in Reno that are trailblazers. That some of those
Right.
officials that have reside up there, and they chose not to come back down this way. But I want to also the bills that were passed during your tenure are some of those still on the books today, the major ones.
Yeah. Some are on the books. I passed the first racial profiling bill in the nation. They passed one in New
First.
Jersey, but it only dealt with the New Jersey Turnpike. With things that happened, unfortunately, the last couple of years with George Floyd and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I passed that bill back in 1990, and also outlawed the chokehold in 1990.
Illegal chokehold.
But
Okay.
yeah, but you know, you a legacy depends on how many people you reach that you help. People say, "Well, I got a legacy." Well, you don't have a legacy because how many people did you help?
Right.
So one of the things that I liked, I was able to do is to rebuild get schools rebuilt in West Las Vegas.
Yes.
So I had 21 schools rebuilt. Now think about it. Madison was built in 52, Mabel Hogarth
Mabel
53,
Hogarth.
Booker in 54,
Booker.
Kit Carson in 54.
Yes.
So the people in those neighborhoods have been paying taxes since those years and have the worst schools.
Hmm.
The, every time we do a
Yeah, I
bond,
went to those
the
schools.
bond,
Every last one of them.
yeah. So the bond says to build new schools and rehab old schools. Just like my Volkswagen in college. I got it painted every summer, but it still broke down on every corner. So,
Yeah.
so I passed these bills to rebuild schools uh, with design bills. So I had first what I did was Madison. Madison School eventually became Wendell P. Williams Elementary, but
Right.
it wasn't the name wasn't there when I got that school rebuilt.
Yes.
And when I had the school rebuilt in 2000, elementary schools in Las Vegas cost $16 million. That school cost 28 million. 28 million. And what I did, I took students and parents from the neighborhood, took them throughout the Southwest to look at schools. If you get a new school, what would you like in it? So check this out. We had probably 5 teachers in the PTA before that school was built.
Yeah.
So what we did, we put in I mean, 5 parents in the PTA. So I put in a parent lounge just like the teachers lounge. So if you go in the parent lounge, they got a sofa, big screen, information about healthcare, jobs, and you come to the school and not when your kid is in trouble. So, you got a place to go.
Right.
And I also passed a bill that gave parents uh, 6 hours per semester per child to go visit the school. You go to the school when nothing's wrong. So
Hmm.
in this town, a lot of people work in the casino industry. So sometimes you get called. The parents get called by the school to say, "Hey, come to a parent conference." So you got to make a decision. Do I go to the conference or do I go to work? Do I
Yeah.
go to the conference? Might lose my job.
Hmm.
Why should you have to choose between a job and your child? So I had that bill passed to give
Yeah.
teachers this way. The
Okay.
second thing that we did in the school, we had a problem with teacher turnover. Teachers wouldn't staying. It was a revolving door. So I put in a child care center. If you have a child, whether you're a teacher, custodian, cafeteria worker, it doesn't matter. If you work at the school, you bring your kids to school to Wendell P. Williams for
Hmm.
free child care.
Yes.
So then I started to
Nice.
stay because you don't have to run around town in the morning trying to drop them off, and you don't have the cost. And there's a sense of stability that comes to play because the child knows that their mom or dad's on campus somewhere. So
Hmm.
you got the option of, when you go to lunch, you can go have it with your own child. Teachers didn't leave when we did that. So there's a lot of things we put in this at that school that changed the atmosphere. So look, check this out. Madison, the previous school was built in 1953. Academically, we had been at the bottom of the totem pole since 1953.
Wow.
We got the new school in 2003. We went to Nashville, Tennessee to receive an award for the highest academic school, Title I school in the nation. When you give kids something to be proud of, they
Exactly.
take care of it.
Yes.
They
Yes. That's
tend
true.
to learn.
Yes.
You know, you know, you you get up. You're a kid. Somebody gives you an old raggedy bike.
Yeah.
You like it because you need to ride. But it's
Exactly.
nothing like having a brand new one.
Yes.
And
And you need to be applauded for that because I went to Madison. We lived at
yeah,
right across the street from Madison, and I can tell you one thing about it: Eliza Rome did not like Madison School, but at that time they wasn't busing us across town, to the other schools and various schools. You went to the school in your neighborhood, and I
yeah.
was so
I
glad
want
when I
you.
came home.
I want you to come by when you get a chance, and I'm gonna give you a little tour.
Yeah, please. I'll bring Chris with me. This is
Yeah,
my
I
side.
would
Yeah.
be honored to be
Yes.
part of that.
Yes. Now, while we on education, let me throw this at you. That school to prison pipeline. Can I get your comments on that? And was there any bills that was passed that are still on the books that could
yeah.
probably alleviate?
There's been plenty of legislation to deal with that, but you gotta have dedicated teachers. You gotta have teachers that really care. So it's you gotta instill self-esteem. When I was teaching junior high school, I just took a survey. So when I sent a kid to the office, let's say for having a knife, so we sent one kid to office for having a knife, and you sent another one because my kids came from Herbie Gerson that I taught.
Okay.
First kid, he goes to the team. Second kid from Gerson got sent home. So there's a disparity on how they're treated.
Yes.
You know, uh, you know, children like the children at Wendell P. I know all of them. They know me. I see them everywhere.
Yes.
And President Madison was a slave owner. He married Dolly Madison. She owned three times many slaves as he did. He had slaves when he was in the White House and slaves when he left. Now, that was the time. I mean, that was the thing of the times. But you realize most of those kids are African American at that school. So why would you have to go to school that's named after a slave owner? So that's why the kids, they kind of relate to me that way. The second one I had rebuilt was Booker, and on and on. Joe Mackey. I had a Rancho rebuilt,
Hmm.
and it's like it's an issue of fairness.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. If you move to Las Vegas today, people can live anywhere they want to live. You got the right to live where you want to live. I support that. But if you move to Vegas today and you move near Palo Verde or one of the new schools, you haven't paid taxes at all. Your kid got a brand new school. The kids and the people in that neighborhood have been paying taxes since early 1950s,
Yeah.
and they had broke down schools.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. Then
So
that is crazy, man. That you can go and do a survey and find out all these factual things that are going on right here in this community. You know,
right.
so I want to kind of get off to the late Harvey Mumford. I know you were close with Harvey
Okay.
and you served with him in the
Yes.
assembly. And Harvey was like a dad, a grandfather to a lot of us that are ex felons. He came up to that
Right.
prison. He got involved, and when my mom gave him a call and said, "Hey, would you go up to the prison and do a program? I'm putting on a program." I'm pretty sure you know. I don't have to tell you none of this, but yeah, Harvey. I think it was such an honor that they named that street after him in his neighborhood. Where his house is
Yeah.
at today, and his legacy gonna
Right.
live on. And that's
Yeah.
why I hold you so high, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. I went up to the prison several times, Mr.
Yes.
Jerome.
Yes, you
We
did.
had to.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. And it is you tell people they have to understand the only difference between those. I should tell them when I go up there. The only
Yeah.
difference between
You didn't get. Yeah.
those of us who are in prison and the ones that's in. You got caught. We did. It's no
Exactly.
difference.
That's
We
what you
treat
said. Yes.
the same. Yeah. So it's like things just you have to keep going. So like I was in Vegas probably came in '77. did the first MLK parade in '82. Started
Yes.
the King Committee in '81. This is my 42nd year doing it,
Okay.
and uh, same here again. I went to the radio station and said to them, "I'd like to do a parade because when King's birthday came around at that time, KBOB was the AM station on Bowler Highway would say, "Hey, turn on your headlights," but that was nothing really done, to recognize him.
Yeah. And a
So,
lot of us were,
yeah,
yeah, a lot of us were already locked up, so we didn't really get to even experience that Martin Luther King parade, that first one that you brought in. I know it was some negativity, but man, look where it has come from and where it's at today. And I'm gonna employ my ex-felon community. You guys know who you are because you're businessmen, and let's support this. Let's get out and Assemblyman Mr. P, I thank you for coming, man, and sharing this with us. It ain't every day that I get somebody with this star power, and especially locally. And I appreciate that. Chris, you have any words for?
I wanna thank you for spending time here with James, and I got so much out of what you've had to say, Mr. Williams. I just can't tell you how much I appreciate you being on there, and I want to apologize for our little snafu here on our zooming. So we'll be able to do that a little better next time. Would love you to come back on again if you were up for it.
Yes, we'd love to have you back.
I love so next time we're supposed to get together on a couple of things that we didn't. So I'm
Yes.
really, really happy to do this for him and for the community and really for his mother.
Yes.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I'll come back anytime. I'll come back anytime. I got plenty of stories to tell.
That's
Yeah,
it.
we're
We
glad
want them
you're
all.
here.
We
Yeah.
want them all.
Yes,
Thank you for
yes.
attending. Thank you very much, James, for bringing this awesome human being.
Yes, no problem, Chris.
Yeah.
We're signing off now,
I
boss.
love you, bro.
And we'll be in touch.
All right.
What was that you said, Mr. Williams?
Okay.
What was that last little bit?
I say I love you guys.
Yeah, and I have to get a book over to you and sign it. Yes.
That was it. He got the last word, man. What a joy to have him on today.
Wow, all that history, man.
Man, you
I'm
got
telling you, tears wanted to well up because things that he was saying, I heard from my mom.
Right.
When she and today I got to get a picture with him and my mom. I let Harvey get away, man. I got to get him over there and
man, you do.
man.
You do, buddy. This not my chair,
You,
James
Chris,
Allen. Well, buddy, I can't thank you how much I appreciate you having a man that could relay being there, okay? I mean, this is not some fake AI BS. This is a real human being who knows what it's really about. And he started talking about how a high school in Chicago ends up being the Harlem Globetrotters.
And all these other celebrities.
Who knows this stuff?
Wow.
So please, if you want to talk to him every Friday, I'll be here, okay?
Yeah. And he don't have a book out. I should. Why don't you have a?
Well,
all
there's
these
a lady
other-
there who wrote your book. Her name's Arlene there. Arlene Krieger.
Yeah.
Wonderful human being herself. We
And-
got to get
yeah.
her in here. And
I just talked to her, and she told me to tell you hello too.
please. And, well, we'll make
We have to do a school. She wants us to go to a school.
Okay.
So we have to do that with her.
Well, pick the school, pick the time, and just give me like a few days' notice, all right?
will, yes.
And because this is really, that was, thank you, James. Thank you so
thank
much for
you.
that, buddy.
Thank you, Chris.
Anything else you want to talk about your book here? We got a couple of minutes here before the pumpkin turns into a golden carriage or something.
Well, let's talk about some of the ideas you got coming forth. In the
Oh
new year.
God, and yeah, it's well, there's a real big one that we're working on. I hope we're going to meet with a really good man from a local museum that used to work at a little bit too, right? And
Yes,
you were
yeah.
and the vision over there that we're congealing around is something along the lines of a play.
Yes.
About the I better get my microphone too. Yeah, I got a microphone here too. Anyway, this is me trying to do stuff. The play would be about the time in Vegas when the people who were really in charge, who'd taken over from the what you call them, the Mormon Cowboy Mafia. We have a new group comes along.
City Boys.
Pardon me that coughing there. I got this something or other. So yeah, so that would be wonderful to see something. And we met when we went up there the other day to the Mob Museum's headquarters, their underground lair. Excuse me, folks.
You ain't getting in there.
Oh no, buddy. No, man, it freaking knocks. It's worse. Anyway, wonderful young lady who's the head of education. Claire, what's Claire's last name? You remember?
Claire White.
Claire White. I gotta remember that one.
Beautiful person.
Yeah, she's just an awesome human being, and she's now tasked with education, and the fact that if you can reach the parents, you might be able to reach the kids, and if you can reach the kids, you might be able to reach the parents. So what you would do would be something in the museum educational, which is a story,
Yeah.
and it's a moment in time, is what I'm thinking. Something 1927. Speakeasy, and they just released the last silent movie, and and in
Black and
comes
white?
it's black and white, baby, just like we are out here, buddy. And the point of it is that I can visualize a really cool story, and it's surrounded by a supper club. So the characters, it's something like a Tony and Tina's. Or Mamma Mia, something
Mamma
like
Mia.
that. Yeah, you're gonna have fun. You're gonna drink a little bit and eat some good food. But in the meantime,
You got a local group that comes in. And
Sure.
this is
we
what
got
they
some
do.
talent in this town. We got some great acting chops in this town, especially in the theater business. And it's like we've lost a lot in the theater business in town. Maybe we got to get back here.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyways,
There's actually
grab that sucker, bring it right toward you, man. There you go.
there's actually nothing in the downtown area where there's theatrical play.
Yeah.
Where there's actual actress and actors playing a
Yeah.
part. And
Oh,
that
nothing.
would be great.
They're what they got. This is the guys on the freaking on the Fremont. Yeah. That's a show.
The Fremont Experience.
Oh, that's an experience.
Wow. I think some tourists, they come back just for that.
Well, they just
to
built
see
a
what's-
beautiful casino there, the Cirque. I mean, Circa that should have a Cirque, maybe a Circa. Maybe we're on to something, But the upshot is that people don't go to theater anymore. They go to supper club, to a supper dinner theater, because
Yes. And everything in home. Yeah.
and then you ever go to the that medieval thing they do over at the
Excalibur?
Excalibur?
Oh, I love that.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
We ought to be calling them up. We're plugging the heck out of that thing, and you can get your dragon and your dragon blood soup, and and it's a chicken dinner.
You can represent the Neverland.
Right? Oh yeah. Or if you want to do the Russians, and they're usually the bad guys. So that's a great time. So they play and it's actually a real deal too. It's fun, much fun. So that's one of the things going on. While I still have my old '74 Lincoln Mark IV,
Yeah.
which died on the freeway the other day.
Which we're going to put in a video.
I'm hoping, yeah. You got your song written up.
I'm ready.
Got all three choruses,
It's ready.
and you got the bridge.
It's just I'm trying to pick the right musicians.
All right, well,
Like I said,
we can
pick a lazy guy. He's going to give you that. Lazy
we can go down to the Sonic Temple, and you know where that is?
No.
Sonic Temple, aka Black Church. It's right down there on just around the corner from the Paradise Wedding Chapel on what's it, Boulevard there? It's Clark and then
Yes.
Gas is between the Clark and Gas is what is it? Bonneville. Yeah, it's on Bonneville, and it's an old church. And they painted it black. Everybody calls it the Black Church because they painted it black. Yeah. So they're not. I don't think they're taking anything from anybody. It's just a church that's painted black. So, and anyways, they got a studio in there they're running some radio stations out of it, and it's a venue too where you can go get your have a reception. It's great. So we send a lot of folks over there from Paradise Wedding Chapel. See, and. We try to anyway, and it's a really cool place. And the guy, I guess, who is his place? He was with Metallica, or is with Metallica, or something like that. So just like you got this story here that Mr. Williams was talking about, which is so freaking interesting. And it's like this is the real story, the stuff in the background, okay? And that his namesake, he's the namesake for, was a friend with freaking Douglas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So who now did you see? Was this a man of color or a man of Viking history like me that he's talking about that he's named after? Because the abolitionist, because I'm gonna imagine he was just an
he
old.
was black.
He was a black man. Okay, so he has he's got
Never
black
gave
Viking.
up.
He's black Viking in him.
Smart, he went, and
So he's in the like in Booker T world, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this is what the hell happened here, man?
Yeah.
What was the thing that put that man down, and nothing would stop him?
he cared for people, and he didn't care what color.
Yeah,
He would feed poor white people that the town would, what's the word I'm looking for? They would excommunicate because you're friends with slaves. You
yeah.
can't be friends with
This is the
slaves.
1880s now. Yeah, and you keep walking from your mic, buddy. I'm not,
Sorry.
yeah, it's all right. I'm gonna give you some more out. I'm gonna hear this. Maybe they do something there, but yeah, you got a voice, man. Yeah, I hear that voice. So here is 1880s.
Right.
100 and freaking 40, almost 150 years ago, and we're still dealing the same crap. Anyway,
And what he said is true. My mom, I have her spirit in me too.
yes, you do.
She don't give up.
She don't give
She's
that one.
still fighting.
She's still
even in
fighting. God
dementia.
bless
This
me.
lady is healthy, beautiful,
Yeah, yeah,
and she just looks at you and smiles
yeah.
every day. It's like
If more people were like that, right? Buddy.
it's just. But I tell you what, Chris. I think moving forward, I'd like to have him back.
Yeah.
And I think if we could give him a spot, even at what we got going down there, just he can just be the guy with the knowledge.
If you are planting seeds, buddy, and some people get 5, some people get none, some people get 10, some get 100. Geez, keep planting these seeds in the community. I'd love to hear everybody's story, and if he can reach into people, because you can only talk to so many people, right?
Right.
I can only talk to so many, but just thank God for that this time, and there's so much this man has to offer us still.
And I like to use this piece for Black History.
Yeah, sure.
I mean,
we can do some more between now and February, okay?
So I had a connection with PBS.
Yeah.
One of the producers over there.
What we'll do is we'll get some better video. We'll have him in here, or we'll go to his house.
Well, he said
yeah.
he'd come and he'll give us a tour. So
Yeah. Then we can maybe bring a couple
And he's
cameras
right there in
over.
the hood, so.
Yeah. So and he can talk about stuff. So we can do the tour, and then we can do the sit down, and we do
And
that
the
too.
other friend you wanted to invite today. You wanted to,
Oh.
you mean with Jeff? Okay.
Oh yeah. That was all about Jeff. I didn't know we were talking how much you wanted to let Jeff know that we're talking about him without him knowing that we're talking about him. So, So and that it's just kind of show busy. So I want to make sure we handle that in such a way that everybody is so grateful that we made them help their job get done. Right. That's I hope comes out of that.
Yeah. It was great having Mark
Yeah.
last week.
Yes. Yeah.
Having him on. And
Yeah.
so we're just going to keep pushing,
Well, if you're down here every Friday, I'll do my best to support you.
Yeah.
And
You've been
'cause
doing that.
Oh, you've been supporting me here, and I can't tell you how grateful I'm for you doing this.
Who would think a guy walked up to me, I'm taking a photo,
Yeah.
and he said, "Hey, I like this mural. Can you guys do a mural on my chapel?" and
Yeah.
great friends.
Yeah. How about that? And that was an interesting mural, wasn't it? Yeah, because that was about
It's gone.
because it painted over. It was all about COVID. Are we really free? Yeah. The punch bug. I don't know, buddy. Are we really free? I guess that could be a good name for a podcast.
But I think I want to let's get this song recorded and let it be the opening.
Okay, well, what we could do with the song is we could probably get in the Sonic Temple. We just got to set up a time to get down there. Now, at Christmas time, everybody's ready to give, so maybe they'll give us a good deal on whatever. What do you got? Something to show us?
Well,
Just
we do-
hold
well,
it to the camera. Hold it to the camera. What do you got there? What do you got there? You got
This is Nevada State Prison.
yeah, up in Carson City, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's the block.
I spent 8 years. Yeah.
How old is
4
that
years
freaking-
on death row and other years on the yard.
How many old is that thing? That thing's an antique, and
1919.
1919, right in Prohibition. Just oh my God, just the
Yeah.
beginning of Prohibition, right?
That's a picture of the old culinary.
The culinary,
The
yeah.
old metal benches, and
Yeah.
you had the metal spoon and the metal tray.
Put that on a bit so I can see your face there. Yeah, drop that. There you go. There we go. All right. Yeah. See, you got your monitor right there. See, there you go. There you go. Yeah, I always do that. Yeah, do I go with that side or you go with this side or. All right. Well, that's this is all the hundreds. It's not open now, is it anymore or no?
No, it's closed, and they're going to try and renovate it and get it ready for tourist attraction.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And they would like some of the old guys that
Yeah.
will agree that did time there, like myself, to come back and maybe say some things. How about that guy there?
Who is that guy? What a
That
you know
is
what?
the late
no matter
Harry
what,
Reid.
you know, I'm a bright red Republican. No matter what, that guy's freaking awesome, man.
Yes, he is.
That guy worked hard for
Harry
this
Reid.
town and this state and this whole really end of the world here. He's just
First one to invite
Yeah.
me to Washington.
Yeah,
you
no
know,
kidding.
To come for,
and you did go to Washington.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you had some chicken dinner.
Colonial breakfast.
Ah, what is it? A colonial breakfast, you know?
You know, a muffin, a
muff-
blueberry muffin, and some orange juice,
And a little cup of coffee.
and maybe an egg.
Yeah. Maybe an egg.
Maybe an egg.
Depending if they
Yeah.
feel you like
But
they
that
like
was
you or
the late
not.
Harry Reid.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud of this man. He didn't care if he was an ex-felon,
Yeah.
you're an ex-death row inmate. If you
He's a
showed
coal
him,
miner's son, isn't he? Or something like that? Or
yeah, searchlight.
Yeah.
If you showed him a positive attitude
Yeah.
and that there's growth
Yeah.
in your incarceration, and
Yeah.
that's what I did.
Yeah.
And he loved my mom, and he loved me, and I'll forever be thankful to this guy.
Yeah.
I'm very thankful that they named that airport after him.
Me too, actually.
fought for this
he
state.
did. He earned that. No no doubt about it. You know,
Harry
that could be
Reid.
one of the best airports in the whole freaking world right there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, there's things going on in this part of the world that are just crazy.
Now,
Interesting.
This is a picture of me, Chris, standing by the cell.
You do that. You keep
on
you
death
keep
row.
your. Yeah, there you go. There you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
on death
Who's that?
row.
Who's that handsome man?
That
okay,
is me standing in front of my cell.
and that's the distance between the cells.
Yes.
Look at that.
That was death row.
That's not
Condemned
even
man's
arm's
row.
length. That's barely an arm's length across that
Oh, we
thing.
can touch each other.
That's crazy. Well, you know, this is better. And look at that tiny space of that.
Yes.
So that was a tiny space to start with, and they
Yes.
crammed everybody. How many people were on that roll?
It was 8 of us.
8.
at the
Yeah,
time.
and that time, and it filled it up, didn't it?
And this is a picture of the gas chamber, which they put,
This is all in your book, right?
yes, which they put the gurney in there now.
Yeah,
because
there's-
they
yeah.
strap you down to a gurney.
Yeah.
and it's lethal injection.
Yeah,
But at
people
the
pay
time,
good money for that nowadays.
Yes, this chamber had 2 chairs in it.
Holy shit.
You know, at that. And
Pardon me,
I'd
that-
never been in that chamber.
Okay, I don't know what the S bomb is worth out there right now. It's going to go just fly. So we're going to let the S bomb fly for now.
Okay.
Maybe about.
And here's a
yeah.
picture of me standing, actually in the cell.
Yeah,
that
your cell
that
was,
I lived in
Yeah.
for 4 years
Yeah.
as a young man.
Was that a single cell for you?
Single cell.
Yeah.
Commends, yeah.
That's a different kind of disease right there.
And I want to show love to Pat Hickey. This is a former Nevada Assemblyman. And he supported my book, and he was there the day they allowed me to go back in and take pictures
Yeah.
of the old death row site.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pat. Got to get Pat on
Where
the
is
show.
Pat? Where is he
Pat
now?
lives up in Reno, and he has a house up in Lake Tahoe.
If
And
we
every
get
once in a
enough
while
things,
he-
we get enough things together. We'll go to Reno, okay?
Yeah.
Incidentally, I'm going to put $10 in the jar that I'll pull out instantly to remind me. This is not for money, but to remind me that I don't do the S bomb.
No, you don't.
But you know the F bombs are still $20 if you forget and send me email. The email address is century25studios@gmail.com.
Hey, get that free money, man.
Free money, man. I've already had one winner, chicken dinner. That's a good chicken dinner still in Vegas, $20.
Because knowing my friend, he's going to drop another F. It's coming.
So far, so good. Well, so anything else you want to talk about today, James?
Well, you know, while I was incarcerated, I just want to talk. I was allowed, Chris, I was so privileged to be part of different programs. And in 1990, they started a program at Southern Desert Correctional Center. Well, they wanted the convicts, the inmates, to actually physically work on collectible cars. So they reached out to the Imperial Palace Hotel, and the guy gave
Yeah.
us his collection.
Yeah.
And there were like 12 of us that were hired to do
Oh
this.
my God!
And I brought
this is
pictures in.
so
of a
great.
Model T.
Now the Imperial Palace collection. You know whatever happened to that when they sold it? Do you know where it went?
I think it went to a private collector, and his
Here in town still, you think, or?
no.
Oh,
I think,
yeah.
somewhere in Indianapolis.
Okay. Not in Addis Ababa or something.
These are cars I worked on.
Oh, look at
And
that.
here's
Hold it. Yeah,
pictures
check that
of
out.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, at Southern Desert
Kind of
Correctional.
hold them out toward your camera there. Look at that.
Yeah.
What is that on that? That is a Buick on the one side, that burgundy.
Yes, this is a Model T.
Yeah, that's a Model T. That's a touring coupe. That's a beautiful. That was a high-end Model T.
Yes.
You remember the year that was?
I can't remember the year.
Yeah,
I
look at
didn't
that.
wanna write
Oh,
on the
my
pictures. 'cause
God,
I
look
wanted
at that
these pictures.
Buick.
And no, this is a Duesenberg.
It's a Duesenberg. Oh
Duesenberg.
my God!
And it was the first one
show
we
it to the
did.
camera. Yeah. You worked on a Duesenberg.
Duesenberg for the Imperial Palace.
Oh my God, that's a doozy
And
of a
that's
Duesenberg.
me, a guy named Jerry Jones, and Robert Jones.
Yeah, God Almighty.
Yeah,
Oh,
we was the only three working at the place at the time.
it's a Duesenberg.
Yes.
God, I gotta take a look at this.
Can you imagine a guy coming off of death row and working on $1 million car? That car sold for $1 million.
Easy now. Oh,
Yeah.
it's you can't even buy it anymore.
He let us took a picture, and he was so proud of us, the work that was done on that car, and he allowed everybody to take a picture with it, and just to lean on it. I mean,
This is 1991 or two.
that's
or something.
92.
Jesus Christ in heaven. What has happened to it? And this is a tribute to the future right there. The work you did, that'll exist. I mean, things will make it through to the 25th century. It's just not in the same configuration. Like
Right.
this thing might not make it to the 25th century. No matter what, it won't be in the same configuration. But that might make it in essentially the same configuration, which is a gift to the future.
I'm proud of the accomplishments. I'm proud of the redemption.
Yeah.
I'm proud of the forgiveness.
That redeems it. You look how long the Duesenberg is going to be. Duesenberg was one of the luxury. It's the Rolls Royce,
Now, I'll
basically,
tell
of
you
America.
what would be fun?
Yeah,
The person that's got this in their collection.
yeah,
And know that 2 death row inmates.
yeah. Well, do you want to do some tracking? You want to do some bringing legwork? We'll go get a hold of the guy on the phone.
Wow.
Say, we're doing this little story about, that happened back in the day when they actually give a damn about vocational training for convicts and
Exactly.
people who are in the penitentiary where they're doing penitence and they're trying to get penitent and maybe doing that by doing something good, serving the future in a lot of ways. Okay, so that's a theme around here. Anyway, geez, that's beautiful. So, as time goes by and, we see what develops, wouldn't that be something for that to pull up in front of the Mob Museum as part of the show? Something like that. Wouldn't that be a kick in the head?
Oh, man.
Yeah, then because what I see the show is, it's like it's a movie opening. It's a silent movie opening, and they're doing the after party. They've already had the big party down at the down at the
Plaza.
Yeah, down at the Chinese whatever.
Yeah.
And here we are now. After party is at the Speakeasy because it's still a Speakeasy. It's a silent movie,
right.
and then the star shows up, and this is a great scene in the play. And the star shows up. He's like John Hamm. He looks great, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, he's got an awful voice. He talks like this because he's like 6'3", big burly guy, and he's and the girl that she's a little femme fatale, with a blonde, and she goes like so. Have all kind of fun with this, and it'll be a hoot. It'll be a hoot because before it's silent movies become talkies, that a lot of people just did not make the transition
At all.
Oh no, they lost it. They did not make it. So we can all get fun, and we'll get a hold of Phil and see if he wants to be part of that, and see if maybe if he does, maybe we can make him part of the first what you call it meeting there with Jeff. Jeff's a pretty cool guy, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Oh,
He ain't all stuck up.
Yeah,
guy with his
no.
suit on. And
No, he rolls his sleeves up, don't he?
He ain't Mark and Jonathan.
Yeah.
Those are 2 top.
Yeah, well, they got to rep that way. They got to represent
But he's
that.
the third guy.
Yeah, and the third guy
the right guy.
is the guy. He's the workhorse. Then he's the workhorse. Okay, great.
And they believe and trust him.
Yeah, that's
He says, if Jeff said, I like this.
and that's it. So what the point with Jeff would be to just this is the idea. How does it work better for you? And that's
Do you think we should try and get him down here after the meeting for a podcast? Or before?
Yeah, whatever. I mean, whatever he wants. I mean, this.
We can kind of nail him.
Yeah.
If he's sitting
No,
there.
no.
We don't want to nail him.
I never have a bushwhack anybody. I'm a cowboy, but that's just no.
You ride shotgun?
Yeah, I could ride shotgun. I know how to, get that center mass thing going. But in the meantime, no, we want these people to be happy.
Yeah.
Because they're moms and dads and kids, and they're trying to just do something better too. I don't want anything from them other than to see that they. Pardon me. See the
So
thing
the
win.
screenplay has to be written out.
It basically would be. There's difference between
This
plays
how it
and.
starts. It just
Yeah,
starts.
that's why I would want to bring somebody like Phil in, because Phil in.
Phil in.
Phil, we need you to fill in because I definitely don't know what the hell I'm doing. But the upshot is that there is a format in theater, and it's a great format, but it usually involves more than the number of acts that you say it would see in a movie, which is basically 3 acts. But the supper, act 1, act 2, act 3, yeah, and it's very formulaic, and no matter what you do, it's a formula in film that we all end up knowing because we see it, and if it's done well, it's beautiful. It's like you go to a steak dinner, or you get your best pasta primavera because that's sort of vegan, vegetarian. It's not unless you somehow make a bechamel with no flour or milk. Nonetheless, I'm just so off track here. Sorry, buddy. But the bottom line is that there is
delicious.
it does. But if you can have a steak and a pasta primavera, it's a free country. Yeah. But the upshot of that is it's done right. It's well done. It's properly done. Not well done, then you really screwed it up. But if you properly did the dish. And that's the same thing in the movie. They're very satisfying, and it's because you get beginning, middle, and the end, and hey, you walk out of the show, the blue-haired cartoon princess is singing a wonderful song, and everybody's happy, and then we're just we're gonna let it all go for now.
Because I tell you, while I was there at the museum, several people came in with film ideas.
Bring that mic toward your
of shooting something down in the underground.
Yeah.
And I don't know. They just didn't buy what the whole plot was about. Or what, because it was still new. It was brand new, and it wasn't.
But that's why Jeff's
Oscar didn't trust nobody with that baby. That's his. Baby.
And then still, it's not changed. Because there is a something that's they're trying to do their mission, right?
It took an act of Congress for me to play R&B.
Really?
In the underground. Because I told them, I don't know, my band doesn't do 40s, 30s. We don't do big band.
Yeah.
We don't remember the 20s.
Cap Calloway, right?
Yeah.
He was 1930s.
Yeah.
He ain't freaking, well, he's big band. I guess he's
big band.
But he was the swings thing.
But they allowed it, so that was the awesome thing about it. They allowed the R&B, and I mean, we partied down there. I mean, it was crowded. I mean, I got the videos.
God, yeah. That room's a big room then, huh? Yeah. How many think people are in there? What do you think the number of people going to be in there? Like 200 or something?
No,
150?
Now, if you're going up to the courtroom.
Yeah, but no, just down in that little.
I think it's. Is it 90?
90, even so, that's a pretty good room. You fill that, and if you're an institution like that museum is, and you're promoting that's basically institutional advertising, what we're talking about here, and getting, because the money's in the tickets going in and out upstairs, but those tickets there'll be tickets too. But if the thing breaks even, then it's like you got free advertising, okay?
Because
word of mouth.
The people that pay to come
Keep walking away from your mic. Just bring that mic with you. Either go. Yeah,
the people that pay to come in, they're allowed access through
the whole thing.
Museum.
Yeah,
but you can also enter from the outside through the speakeasy, and
right.
There's no fee.
Is that in the front or the back?
The back.
Yeah, that's great. Oh man, that's free. The backside. That's what the speakeasy is going to be in the back door, right? Nobody knows it's there. For crying out loud.
No, it was so great.
Yeah,
when that thing first started.
And,
the way they had me dressed and to do the guest experience.
I'm going to do a quick stop in the start of this.